Rajasthan, an Indian state the size of Germany. A land of pink rocks and surprisingly good mobile phone coverage. The monsoon failed in 2017 and 2018. The rains used to be dependable, but now they aren't. Rajasthan suffers lengthy droughts and increasing population.
So I remember when this field was filled with water, we used to come here every weekend with our family, and we used to go fishing and hunting and boating, migratory birds from all over the world. But in this last few years, the water level is going down every year.
In the Sasa River water catchment area, at least 21 streams and small rivers have completely disappeared. Wells are dry, and even some hand pumps sitting on top of boreholes 400 feet deep produce no water. In association with the Flow Partnership, Chaman Singh has been helping Rajasthani villages to build mud and rock dams to trap infrequent monsoon rains. 4 years ago, this lake wasn't there. Most of the water in it fell as rain in 2016. These so-called check dams are called Johads. They're built by villagers with financial help. In the driest rural areas like these, check dams can completely change lives.
पहले कम होते, काऊ के 2 मन, काऊ के 4 मन।
किसी के?
हाँ, 2 मन के।
If a sufficiently deep lake can be created at a slightly higher altitude than the surrounding wells, water seeps into underground aquifers and supplies local wells and boreholes. It also irrigates the surrounding fields. In 2016, the monsoon rainfall was good and this lake filled up. Now it has a healthy fish population and attracts migrating birds. The villagers even keep a couple of fishing boats on the shore. But how did the process start? A villager called Fateh Sang Gurja phoned Chaman Singh. He said the village was in difficulty. There was no water.
All village, old man. First man, my best friend, Sona, call 3 years ago. Meet me, very weep, very sad.
The first step was to meet the villagers and establish that water was their fundamental problem, and to talk about their problems and priorities.
Made one Johar, one.
And to reach agreement to do something about it communally.
Only some little drink water. This village 3 years ago.
The next step was to select a bowl-shaped piece of land which was geologically suitable for holding water. There are sometimes remains of ancient Johads in these locations, as conserving rainwater was a traditional practice throughout Indian history. The organizers calculate how much rainfall the Johad can trap, based on the surrounding topography and rainfall statistics. This is called the catchment area. Just outside the village of Maharajpura, a meeting is held on top of an existing Johad to discuss enlarging and strengthening it. The resulting lake has already yielded benefits, but with monsoons failing, the villagers want to ensure that the water supply can survive a long drought. They agree what the financial contribution will be from each household.
3,000 per house. Decision all committee members today here. Next decision 10 April, all collection contribution, all villager collect, all villager decision. Total villager contribution 5 lakh rupees. Total work 15 lakh. Work this time make.
In the village of Manakur, this ancient Johad has fallen into ruin. It was poorly designed, and past floods washed part of it away. In these cases, it's often a question of demolishing the ruined structure and starting again. Community involvement is essential for the project to succeed.
हाँ
खेत से नीचे पहुंच गई फिर
और खेत से नीचे पहुंच जाएगी ना, खेत से नीचे.
The villagers visit the site and begin to plan the necessary repair work.
वहाँ से
आ जाएगी पन्नी जो 50,000 साथ.
Last decision 16 February start work this Johar. Decision all villagers.
The Flow Partnership works with Indian organisation Tarun Bharat Sangh, which has helped villagers create dozens of water structures throughout eastern Rajasthan. Their work has promoted the regeneration of local agriculture, forests, and the viability of rural life. The presence of water means the villagers have productive fields to support them. Once the village treasurer agrees that all funds are in, he banks them with the assisting NGO, who then transfer money to the various contractors as the project progresses. It's time for work to start. Villagers draw maps in the sand to demonstrate exactly what will be done and where. The villagers themselves undertake most of the earth-moving work, using their own tractors and trailers. Johad building is done in the winter season when there are fewer agricultural duties. These check dams or Johads are not placed in the paths of main streams or rivers, but in remote areas where water would otherwise flow quickly away. This one took about a month to build. The drivers are paid from the budget, using a token system for each load of mud and rocks that they carry, and the drivers get cash for their tokens at the end of each day. The JCB and its driver are hired in, as these are specialist skills.
This Johar mud 750 trolleys on the pal and JCB engine compact 25 hours today.
I am owner JCB and I am work on hire and 60 rupees for trolley dumping and 700 per hour is loading.
The first task is to lay a foundation of large rocks. A basic shape is established with an outer footing of heavy rocks. The gap is filled with earth, which is then compacted by driving a JCB up and down on top of the Johad. A skilled manager employed by the NGO oversees the whole process.
This dam here outlet.
An overflow channel is included at one end of the Johad to release excess rainfall. The outlet is made from rocks or concrete rather than mud, so that overflowing water doesn't erode it away. The concrete type is called an anicut. The villagers protect the irrigated area using an animal barrier made of prickly bushes. They plant more bushes on the slopes of the finished dam to stabilize the structure. As the Johad reaches completion, stones are embedded on both slopes of the embankment to make it strong and solid. This part of the work is done by experts. A siphon feed of water from the lake means downstream crops are always irrigated, and surrounding trees can survive. Vegetables are often planted on the downstream slope of the Johad.
Gift good vegetable and good seed. I distribute all villager.
The accounts are presented to the village. When everything is agreed, the villagers receive a clearance certificate and a care certificate. When the rain comes, they monitor the Johad's performance. The villagers repair any leaks or faults during the first year using the same administrative system. In the village of Manakur, the Johad has changed the villagers' fortunes.
This crop, little fertilizer, 4-acre land, one bag only 50 kg. More cow dung, this land.
Siberian ducks coming the other country.
Put fish 1 lakh per year income this pond fish. Sell market. Okay. Structure made 2 year 1 year after all 12 months Sherni river flowing water. All wheat grain 700 quintal, 1 quintal 100 kg.
So this is the house of our hosts last night. We ate dinner here. We slept in another house. There isn't room in this one. But because of the crop, our dinner host has been able to start building a new house. And it isn't the only one in this village.
The Flow Partnership is working with award-winning innovator Rajendra Singh, who thinks that world peace depends on water literacy.
Due to the scarcity of water, the people is displacing. The forced migration globally. Now is the real right time when we can start a global water literacy movement. This situation only we can stop if the people can make a real behavior and culture with water, a minimum use of water they can start. And they can make some discipline, and that discipline they can impose on own head. If we have less water, so we can survive with less water.
Flow Partnership associate Vinod Bodankar thinks that the future of water literacy lies with the younger generation.
Focus on the age group 8 to 16. These children do not have an embedded sense of belonging to any landmass. That is, their national and cultural and religious identities are not very embedded. Unless they are very deeply indoctrinated, they are universal beings at that age. So if we place before them the entire water cycle in a simple way, they show that they can take responsibility for it with a daily action. And the daily action and the community action becomes a part and parcel of their, what we call in India, sanskar, their upbringing. So much so that not only are they brought up like that, but they bring up their families like that.
I'm travelling to the village of Devra, where the Flow Partnership is planning to help the inhabitants revive an ancient Johad that is urgently needed because of the drought. Chaman Singh meets the villagers to plan the work.
This village, Devra, 45 family.
The inhabitants have to raise 1/3 of the costs, and the Flow Partnership contributes 2/3, which provides for a skilled manager to oversee the work.
This village, 15 hand pump. 13 hand pump, all dry, off. 2 hand pump, 100 liter, pani, 1 hours rest, again 100 liter pani, a liter water, again rest.
Last year, rain?
पिछली साल वर्षा हुई थी अच्छी हुई कम है यहाँ पे 200 rainfall. No, not enough.
The plan is to enlarge and strengthen a damaged and leaking Johad.
But it's too low down, apparently, to irrigate the village fields, because there's no gravity, there's no possibility of a gravity feed. If they want to take water from it to the fields, they would have to pump it using diesel pumps.
इसीलिए तो मैंने गांव को बुलाया। सही बात है सर, देखो भाई आज तुम 20-25 आदमी हो तो कम से कम 20-25 के कानों में तो है और
करो जामे पिछड़े कराओ तुम।
So behind me is the hamlet of Devra, and they've made a decision from that meeting that the villagers will all contribute 1/3 of the costs towards raising the height of the Johad, the check dam, by 2 meters and extending it out on each side by about 100 meters and thickening it, making it broader so that it holds more water, the water level rises and more of the local wells are filled. So the villagers are going to contribute 200,000 rupees, which is about £2,000, and the NGO is going to contribute 400,000 rupees, which is about £4,000, and that will be the cost of the work, which will be undertaken by the villagers with what equipment they have and hiring in any specialist equipment such as JCBs, which they may have to.
Very beautiful.